Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gna Gna Shalakya. Чакшурумлитаминат Смайши Гуравен Маха. Шичитаним Нобистам Стапитмен Бутале. Сарпакадам Хям Дати Сападантикam. Вандехам Шигуру Шутападакамалам Шигурн Вишнивам Шча. Ширухм Сагараштам Схагна Рагнатам Витамтам Сачивам. Сдватим Савдутам Парижина Схитам Кашна Читания Девам. Ширата Кришна Падна Схагна Лолита Шивишакан Витам Шча. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorange Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishapanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Nama Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutala Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Janava, Jaya Giri Varadari, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Braja Janaranjana, Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Janava, Jaya Giri Varadari, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Vraja Janaranjana, Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari. So I'm not sure if somebody can hear. Maybe nobody can hear. I'm not sure if the sound is there. Just a moment. Let's see. Okay. So since there is sound, so Hare Krishna, I will continue to try to read from Bhagavat-Gita. Just a moment, where I was. Chapter 8, 14. Is this really so? I don't know where I was, sorry. Yes, it seems. So it seems I have begun already chapter 8. Yes, let us see. Maybe really it was 8:14. Yes, yes. 8:14 was one of the last one of the last verses which I read. Yes, okay. Then 8:15 is the next, maybe. I hope this is really the next. Okay, I continue with 8:15 and 8:16 verses of Bhagavad-Gita. Mama upatya punajanma dukalaya mahasvata namnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhi paramahangata abrahma bhuvandaloka Punnavartinarjuna Mammopetya Kaunteya Punnarjanmana Vidyate. Translation: After attaining me. So these are the verses 8:15 and 8:16 of Bhagavad Gita. So I read the translation now. After attaining me, the great souls, who are yogis in devotion, never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. From sorry, from the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, but one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. The next two verses, which the Maharaj have selected, are 8:20 and 8:21. Parastasmatu bhavaniya vyakto vyaktat sanatana yasya sarvesho bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati avyakto kshara iti uktas tamaho paramangata yam prapyanai vantantu tadarva paramama. Yet there is another unmanifested nature, which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. That which the the Vedantists, that which the Vedantists describe as unmanifest and infallible, unmanifested and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns. That is my supreme abode. The next two, selected from Maharaj, are 822 and 828. So 822.
Purusha Saparaparta
Bhaktyalabhyastu ananyaya
Yastantashani Bhutani
yenna sarvamidantata. Translation of verse 822 of Bhagavad-Gita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion, although he is present in his abode. He is all-pervading, and everything is situated within him. The next selected verse is 828.
Vedesho Yagnesho
Tapasu chaiva
Danesho Yad Punya
phalam pradishta
Atyeti Tat Sarva Hibhaviditva Yogi Parastana Upaite Chadya.
Translation: a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities, simply by performing devotional service. He attains all these, and at the end he reaches the supreme eternal abode. So the next is chapter 9, and I will continue the next time with chapter 9. So we see how important is, according to Bhagavad Gita, how important is the devotional service. In Shashishikshastaka, which was spoken from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 16th century, it is said in verse 6. Nanam glada Shrudaraya, Vadanam Gadgadaruda Gira, Pulakranchitam Vapukada, Davanama Grahane Bhavishati. Nanam glada Shrudaraya, Vadanam Gadgadaruda Gira, Pulakranchitam Vapukada, Davanama Grahane Bhavishati. Nanam glada Shrudaraya, Vadanam Gadgadaruda Gira, Pulakranchitam Vapukada, Davanama Grahane Bhavishati. It is said O my Lord, when it will be that when I chant your holy names, tears will flow from my eyes, all the hairs of my body will stand on end in ecstasy, out of ecstasy. My voice will choke out of ecstasy when I chant your holy names, O Lord, when it will be. So we know that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura explains this, that these are the external symptoms of perfection. External symptoms of perfection means sorry means external symptoms of love, because in the spiritual world um, perfection means ability to love with real love, and here particularly it is explained about the love to God, about the love to Krishna, about the love to the divine couple Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna. So we have heard from Bhagavat-Gita, we have just heard about the abode of the Lord, and that with the devotional service one can well, it is not said when, but after some time one with devotional service, maybe after many lifetimes, or maybe in the next lifetime, if this devotee is very developed, I don't know. But it is said that this person will reach the supreme eternal abode of the Lord. And then this person does not have to come back to the material world. When, of course, we don't know, maybe if this person wants to come in order to help the others, maybe this person will come, but this person will not have to come. This person will be not forced to come again to the material world and suffer. Yes, so and we see here what are the symptoms of such a person who is on the way to attain the supreme abode of the Lord. A person who does devotional service to the Lord. Such a person, why he's doing all that? Because this person loves the Lord. And we all know that Shashishikshastaka, in every verse, it is showing the crying of a pure devotee in separation from Krishna. In this way, not everybody can really be able to love Krishna, love the Lord, to love the divine couple, Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna, and their eternal associates in Vraja Lila. Not everybody can this, but the pure devotees can this. And as we all know from the verse 10 of Shri Upadeshamrita of Srila Rupa Goswami, the topmost pure devotee is Srimati Radhika. And also there are many other pure devotees of the Lord, the gopis of Vrindavan, the gopas of Vrindavan, all the Vrajabasis in Vrajalila, the eternal associates of Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna in Vrajalila. Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, Abhayacharna Ravrinda, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Narada Muni. The Diksha Guru of our Prabhupada is also, of course, a pure devotee. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, the son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. Bhaktivinoda Thakura, he is a pure devotee of the Lord, without doubt. Srila Narayana Maharaj, which is the sannyas, god brother of our Srila Prabhupada, they have the same sannyas guru, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. This is the sannyas guru of our Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace Abhayacharna Arvinda, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Srila Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj is the Diksha Guru of Srila Narayana Maharaj and Sannyas Guru of Srila Narayana Maharaj. In this way, Srila Narayana Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, are Sannyas God brothers. I don't know if it is said in this way, but yes, they are God brothers. But the Diksha Guru of Srila Prabhupada is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. But his sannyas guru is the guru of Srila Narayana Maharaj, and in this way they are actually God brothers. Sannyas God brothers. So Srila Narayana Maharaj is also a pure devotee. There are many other pure devotees. And the love of all these pure devotees, from which the topmost is Srimati Radhika, is expressed in every verse of Shri Shri Shikshastakam. So we see these personalities, they are such personalities which have reached this abode, which is described in Bhagavat-Gita here. This person attains all this, and at the end this person reaches the supreme eternal abode. So these personalities who are pure devotees, they are such personalities which have reached the eternal abode of the Lord. Of course, we cannot just, I don't know about you, but I am far away from that. So we who are actually very far away from the mood of a pure devotee, we cannot imitate the pure devotees. We cannot just start to love the Lord, but we can learn from the pure devotees, and in the disciplic succession, in the guru disciple disciplic succession, which comes from Srila Rupa Goswami in Rupanuga Bhakti, we can learn from our Diksha Guru, from our Shiksha Gurus, from the other Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, and from the Vedas. We can learn how to start to serve the Lord in such a way that the Lord will be pleased, that the divine couple Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna will be pleased. And in this way, we can begin to continue on this path if we are interested in Krishna consciousness and bhakti. We can actually, if the divine couple Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna and their eternal associates in Vraja Lila allow us, we can really fulfill this, what is described in chapter 8:28 in Bhagavat-Gita. If the Lord allows us to do this. A person who accepts the path of devotional service at the end reaches the supreme eternal abode. So this person gradually will become a pure devotee, actually. So, of course, this does not happen at once. Uh, Maybe for some people it will take many lifetimes. Okay, and okay, let's come to an end. Thank you so much for your attention. Now I will not. Sorry, I will. Well, I have to read also from Shikshastakam. Just a moment. Where I was the last time, I must see. Yes. From Shikshastakam, I would like to read also a little bit. Now, I think I have reached the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada on the second verse of Shri Shikshastakam. Let us see. Ah, yes. Okay. So here he's explaining the meaning of Durdaiva. The first paragraph I have read, and now I continue with the next one. When the living entity embarks upon the threefold path of enjoyment, namely Anyabilash, oh no, this I have read also. Okay, the next. The next verse, the next paragraph, I think. The word karma refers to the duties prescribed in the Vedas directed towards superior enjoyment. The living entity engages in satkarma in order to obtain fleeting heavenly pleasures. When in the midst of such enjoyment, he or she is forced to experience distress, he or she renounces the inclination for material enjoyment. He or she then cultivates knowledge, jnana, directed towards the liberation of merging into the personal, indifferentiated feature of the Supreme. Okay. The next paragraph is about the name chanted with offenses, the semblance of the holy name, and the pure name. By some great fortune, the jiva obtains the association of the Lord's devotees. By the association of those devotees, by the instructions received from the spiritual master, and by the mercy of the Lord, the living entity awakens a desire to serve Shri Krishna. This is the eternal occupational duty of the jiva in his constitutional position. You see how good is this explained, and it is explained here from Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, and it fits very nicely to this verse of Bhagavat-Gita, which we heard some minutes ago about the devotional service. Here also it is explained when it happens that somebody um, begins to have the desire to have devotional service. I will to do devotional service. I will even read it uh, once more. I will read it a second time. By some great fortune, the jiva obtains the association of the Lord's devotees. By the association of those devotees, by the instructions received from the spiritual master, and by the mercy of the Lord, the living entity awakens a desire to serve Shri Krishna. This is the eternal occupational duty of the jiva in his constitutional position. Okay, so the next, I will read the next paragraph the next time. Okay. Let us come to an end. If I try to say something on Vedic literature, you should know I am not qualified on such topics. So if I try to say something, this is just I'm not trying to instruct anybody, but I'm just trying to understand it. Of course, I have to try to understand the Vedic literature under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. All of you who are Vaishnavas, who are devotees, all of you, you are my gurus. I pay obeisances to you. Dandavat pranam. Vanchakalpatarupascha. Kripasnagopaya vacha patitnam pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadahine.
Sorry.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadahine. Hiranyakashipurvaksha Shilatankanakaraya. Hiton Rishimha Paraton Rishimha Yato Yato Yamitaton Rishimha Bahir Rishimha Hridayen Rishimha Rishimha Madhi Saranyam Prapadya.
Tavakara kamalavare.
Nakama Buddha Shrinka
Talita Hiranyakashipu Tanobringa Keshavadrita
Narariru Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare
Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Jagadishare Jaya Jagadishare.
Shri Nishimha Jan Rishimha Jaya Jan Rishimha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bre Shri Nishimha Jan Rishimha Jaya Jan Rishimha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bre Shri Nishimha Jan Rishimha Jaya Jan Rishimha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bre Shri Nishimha Jan Rishimha Jaya Jan Rishimha Dev Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padma Bre
Jayandri Shimahadev, Jayandri Shimahadev, Jayandri Shimahadev, Jaya Shri Shimahadev, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Bhaladeva, Jaya Subhadra Gaura Nitai. Gauranita,
Gauranita Jaya Shri Shri Gaurnita
Gauranita, 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 Jai Shri Shri Gaurita, Radhe Radhe, Radha Madhava,
Radha Gopinath Jai Shri Radhe.
Radhe Shyama, Radha Gokula Nanda,
Radha Gopinatha, Radha Madhava, Radhe Radhe,
Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyama, Radha Gopinatha, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe.
Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev, Jai Gurudev.
Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much for your attention. Hare Krishna.